Then we will kick it off.
It's about that time.
Pre-record on my count. 7, 6, 5, 4. Here we go, Roger.
On INSiiGHTS, 2 eyes in the middle. INSiiGHTS, where we always talk the talk.
Rick. What's up, Rick? What's up, Rick?
Howdy. Good evening. Good afternoon. Good morning to those who are across the world. Hello, and welcome to INSiiGHTS, the Mick and Rick show, featuring the coach. You know who he is, Mickey Clayton, and some reporter, some dude, me, and if you don't know who I am, you will know eventually. Welcome to the show, folks.
Rick, I like that intro. It beats mine, but that's pretty good. I like that intro there.
I'm working on it, man. So got to tweak a few things, but we're gonna get it right. What happened, Coach? I didn't have that. See, if I would have had that, it probably would have flowed a little better. So,
if you had that, it would have flowed real better. It'd have flowed a lot better.
Yeah, a lot better.
Okay. Well, what you know? Last week we had a pretty good show. Right? We had a pretty good show, and man, we got so many positive comments. One from a Rattlerette sister. She said, "Thanks for sharing, Coach Clayton. I enjoyed this so much, and it's rewarding to see women reach back and give you love and appreciation for the lessons learned under your tutelage, which shaped and molded them. I know you're very proud and appreciative. Continued best wishes." That's from Coach Claudette Farmer on one of our original teams. Rick is High, the athletic director over there. That was pretty special from her. See, we opened the show with her comments. We got so many of them in terms of Rosalind Osgood, Dr. Rosalind Osgood, Senator Rosalind Osgood, and I continue to misspell her name, is Rosalind, or Rosalind, and I kept trying to make her Rosalind. I gave her a new name, but she's so gracious. She would never comment on it. But we had so many comments on that, and how many people were proud of her and how she's done things. And again, how she looks back. I mean, and gives thanks. You know, I was humbled by her success, and then including me in it and making sure that I was a part of it. I mean, that's something that'll stay with me for a long, long time. You know, you coach a long time, you reach out, and you never know the effect you actually have on people. So I appreciate Coach Farmer. I appreciate your words. You know, we missed you. Got a lot of positive comments on the energy on the show, and I was a little bit away from athletics, even though there were some young ladies that were in there that had been former athletes. That it just wasn't about sports, and people that learned a lot with Shaquaylin and her She Academy, and the legendary Dr. Shakita Miller. You know, it was a little special. You know, it was a little special.
Shows like that I think they're very important. And even though we both come from a sports background, and it has guided our lives,
Mm-hmm.
this is more than just sports. And to me anyway, I believe this platform can be is important, and to have and looking back at the show and to listen to the women and their accomplishments and what they're doing and giving back, and knowing that you highlighted them. um, I think that's special, and I think that's part of what we are here. And even if I was there the full time, I would have just sat back and just listened to this because it was that important to me. I mean, that to hear them and their journey, and what they're doing now, and maybe there be an inspiration if someone sees it to the next generation. So kudos to the ladies who were on, and much continued success.
Thank you. Well said. Shaquaylin is, she's a excellent role model. Dr. Miller. I mean, all of them from different backgrounds, but striving to be successful and are successful. I have something, the next most talked about thing was a part in the show.
Mm-hmm.
They know everything. And you have to start with anymore. Well, how did you meet Granddaddy? Don't. Grandmama gonna tell you. Granddaddy, he might get up and go smoke a cigarette or something. So you going out the door now? You don't want to stay on the porch. You don't want to hear what happened. You don't want to hear about that girl you had and I took you from. You want to keep that secret, but come on in here. Go on, smoke that cigarette. The story is long. When you get back, I'll still be telling it. So it's a story. I want to say thank you. I appreciate both of you.
Okay, Rick doesn't have anything to say, and now he sees me face to face. He doesn't have anything to say.
Hello, Dr. Miller. How are you? I did want to pop on and say hi to y'all.
I apologize for being late. I had another function I had to attend. So, but thank you for being on. I can't wait to rewatch the show because I want to hear.
Rick, I got so many comments about Rick being speechless. I had a lot of people making comments about that. I mean, I had administrators, I had friends, I had people I didn't know. They said, before Chiquita said something, they said, Rick was just speechless. That's standing there, sitting there in awe with his mouth open. And then she said, you don't have anything to say? I've had many comments about, I might have had more about that than I had about the other guests on the show. They said she just called him up.
Yeah, that's such a love-hate relationship. I tell you, Dr. Miller, thank you for that. And for you folks, it would have been rude for me to be late and loud. I mean, you got to try to just slide in. You can't just be late and loud. Come on, y'all. Where's your etiquette?
Oh, as somebody said, they thought I gave Rick something potent to smell to keep him quiet. Rick,
what in the world? Oh! Rick. This is okay. I see how this is gonna be, right? Okay. I'm looking at you folks. I'm looking at all of you folks, right? and y'all want to talk smack? All right. Hey, I ain't quiet today, though, am I? Mm-hmm. Let me get a little bit more Coca-Cola. Hold on. Let me get really hyped out here. Mm-hmm. That's all right. All right. Funny. Ha ha. Eddie Murphy. Ha, mother. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got you. Mm-hmm.
But one of the things that we want to cover today is some of the top prospects in HBCU football that have a chance to make their way to the draft. right on time.
Hey, just a second. Just give me a quick second. Well, I guess by the props, you already know who this legend's going to be. Hey, long before he was Uncle Shay, giving Skip Bayless the business and smack talk on their nationally syndicated show Undisputed, long before the scathing tweets, the wearing of stocking caps, the black and miles, as well as the Snoop Dogg special, and the bottle of Hennessy, this legend was giving NFL defenses the business in smack as well as in performance. He talked loud and backed it up more times than not. In today's Remembering the Legends, we spotlight former NFL tight end Shannon Sharp. He was born June 26, 1968 in Chicago, but was raised in Glenville, Georgia, a small town with less than 4,000 people. He didn't get much love coming out of high school from colleges, but Savannah State offered, and then the wide receiver, he accepted and did not disappoint. Sharp was a 3-time All-Southern Intercollegiate Athletic Conference selection from 1987 to 1989, SIAC Player of the Year, and was a Division II All-American. Despite finishing with 192 receptions and 40 touchdowns, the NFL was skeptical of Sharp, not just coming from Division II, but his size. He was 6'2" and 230 pounds. He was considered too big to be a receiver and too small to be a tight end. Still, the Denver Broncos drafted him in the 7th round of the NFL draft in 1990. After 2 lackluster seasons as a receiver, Denver moved him to tight end. Sharp caught 53 catches that season, and the legend of Sharp began to take shape. He caught less than 60 passes just one more time following the move to tight end, and that was because he was injured in 1999. Sharp helped the Broncos win 2 Super Bowls before going to the Baltimore Ravens and helping the Ravens win a Super Bowl. He finished his career back in Denver and retired following the 2003 season. He finished his career as the NFL's all-time leader in receptions, receiving yards, and receiving touchdowns by a tight end, which has now been passed by Tony Gonzalez. One record he still holds, however, is longest touchdown reception in a playoff game, 96 yards in the NFL, in the AFC Championship game against Oakland in 2001. It was Baltimore's lone touchdown that game, but it was enough. When all is said and done, Sharp went to 8 Pro Bowls, was a 4-time first-team All-Pro selection, and a member of the NFL's 1990s All-Decade team. He was inducted into the Savannah State Hall of Fame, Division II Hall of Fame, Black College Football Hall of Fame, and yes, he got his bust in the Pro Football Hall of Fame in 2011. People know him now because of his rants on Twitter, or on the TV show, or the crazy memes on Twitter that are just hilarious. But like we always say here, or Mick and Rick, giving it to you straight, no chaser, Sharp has been doing it his entire career, both on and off the field. Man, he talks more junk than Coach, Kev, and Lamp when they get together.
Whoa.
Always calling a spade a spade and keeping it real.
Whoa.
He wasn't the NFL's first pass-catching, big play tight end. But you can't talk about the great tight ends in NFL history without Shannon Sharp. Not bad for a country boy from Georgia.
Whoa.
Whoa, we cut off the lights. Oh, here we go.
Talk more jump than Coach Kevin Lamp. Boy, I said, oh. Boy, Rick was on. Rick was on it. I started watching. I said, "Uh-oh, this may be ugly here." That was pretty creative. I like that, Rick. I like that. Way to step up. That was pretty good. Then you kind of ad lib. Okay. Oh, I got enough. Boy, they say free agent was speechless. What?
Eat two, Julio. Eat two, mi amigo. Eat two. Ay, ay, ay. I tell you, they're all
My
coming.
boy Julio, the voice of one started with us way back in the very, very beginning. Voice of one. That's my guy. That's my guy there. With the HBCU situation, sometimes when we do recruiting the legends, remembering the legends, we kind of have them cross the map. That one fit right in with what we were doing with HBCU football and all of that, and the draft and all of that. That was pretty good, and that was a pretty good one there. It really was. Now, if we look at, go ahead.
No, real quick on that, Coach. People see Shannon Sharp now, they just think he's a loudmouth, but they forget or may not even know that he was a hell of a player. Well, yeah, he is. He definitely is. Always has been too.
Right.
But they don't know that he was a hell of a football player too, and went to a Savannah State and is in the Hall of Fame. And as we've both said, there's many avenues to becoming great, and he was just a perfect example. So
he was a perfect example. Now with the draft coming up, and Dion doing his thing, and what's your thought? Let me ask you a question. Do you think the HBCU colleges are being evaluated in a fair manner? What's your thought on that, on the evaluation process with HBCU players?
Now I think as more attention has been placed on HBCUs, a lot of good attention. I mean, from Dion, and sometimes you got to rattle the boat to let people realize or remember just how good and how important HBCUs have been in the history of football. As of now, though, and for a while, I think the NFL just cast black colleges aside, and they may pick, maybe a couple of teams will pick one or two UDs undrafted free agents. But as far as the draft itself, in the past, I would say yes, Coach. They were forgotten, and there was no equity there. I think we've coming across the perfect storm, though, because of COVID, because of the civil unrest, um, as well as the coaches, um, Dion, George from Tennessee State. Um, I think that has put a spotlight on black athletes in general, and I think that's a good thing, because out of it, we've had the HBCU Combine, first time ever. They did it in basketball as well, the HBCU All-Star Game. So it's come around. People are starting to say, "Oh, yeah, yeah, okay. I forgot about them. They did, yeah. Durant from SC State, he used to play. Yeah, he went to a black college, and so now I think as attention is coming on, I think it's getting more fair. Will it ever be totally fair again? Probably not.
Mm-hmm.
But I think we're at a better place than we have been in a long time.
Okay. Okay. I wanted to hear your opinion on it. I think it's a couple things, though. I think all exposure that we get has to help, and my thing is that the kids, the guys, the young men, young ladies who are playing just want to be seen. If you evaluate them and don't think they can assist you, that's one thing. But if you never see the talent, then you don't know if they can help you or not. And the student athletes don't know if they can help you or not. But they just like that opportunity. It's just like applying for a job. You know, the biggest thing I always told my students and athletes and children, you at least want to get an interview. If you get an interview, you get a chance to sell yourself. You know, don't make a decision because you saw the name Shabazz or something like that and say, oh, I don't want to interview anybody black. You know, or for them to be Michael or Tom and they interview you and be surprised when you walk in and you're black. But I just think that the biggest part of it is they just want a chance to be evaluated. Now, let me ask you another question. Has the transfer portal increased the talent pool at the HBCUs where more guys are now being evaluated?
I think that it has. It's always been there because, and we spoke about this maybe a couple of weeks ago, how Billy Joe was ahead of the curve and bringing some transfers home, some of them black. So I think more schools are cognizant of it now, and because of if more are cognizant, then perhaps, but it's always been there because there's always been those athletes who either they
So
get
I don't
to the.
understand your answer. Has it helped or not helped?
I think it's helped, but I don't think it's as big a help as people think. I don't think what I'm saying is the transfer portal has always been there for HBCUs in a sense because players have always gone off, and then for some reason it may not happen, may not work where they are, so they always use the HBCUs as a fallback. I think the players' mentality is different now. I think that now that the NFL, if we're talking just specifically football, more eyes are on the black colleges. I think it helps, and I think, like I said, their mentality is different. They're not looking at HBCUs as a fallback because now there are TV games now. There's more spotlight. There are opportunities to be seen, combines and what have you from that perspective. So
Okay.
I think it's helped, Coach, but I don't think it's like anything real big new. I don't know if that makes sense, but
well, tell me this: is there a particular candidate or young student athlete that's coming out that you excited about, that you want to see how they do or where they go, or what's your thought?
There's a couple actually, Coach. I want to see what Akil Glass, the quarterback from Alabama A&M, if he gets a shot. Two-time Black College Player of the Year, tall, rocket arm, accurate. There hasn't been a black college quarterback selected since 2006 when Tavares Jackson was selected. This kid has the skills to be the first one in 16 years. So I'm excited. I think he's a third day guy. I think he is a fifth round to seventh round guy, but I think he can be one. Another guy and I'm biased with this one, but Marquis Bell from FAMU, safety from FAMU. And yes, I
Mhm.
am biased, but the NFL has been all over him. They've been looking at him, and that's why he was invited to the combine, the senior combine with the big
Mhm.
boys,
Right.
and played in the was it the Senior Bowl or the NFLPA Bowl? One of those bowls he played in as well. But he's getting a lot of looks because of his speed, his size. He's a hard hitter. I think he can go late second day. No, second day is third round, second and third round. So I think he could go early third day, maybe fourth or fifth rounds. So those two
Okay.
guys I'm really focusing on.
Okay. Let's back up. Akil Glass, and I like this guy named Dana Bugler. He does the Beast. He actually has over 17. Has right at 1,700 players in there evaluated.
Okay.
He gives the top kids that he thinks will be at least down to a priority free agent, and then he still lists some other players. And not that his is the Bible, but it's kind of the one I watch a little bit. And he kind of has a Akil Glass as a what does he have Akil as a priority free agent.
Okay.
And for my money, if you're not drafted top 4 or 5 rounds, you're kind of hoping you don't get drafted because it will allow you an opportunity to cut a deal somewhere where you're wanted, as opposed to you get drafted and you don't have a choice but to get there. I mean, so I'm kind of, I'm hoping, I've heard a lot about him, but I was hoping that, he would have fared a little bit better in terms of their evaluations. Now, Marquis, they're projecting Marquis in the 5th round. I've seen where he visited Dallas. He went to Dallas and did some work with them, met the staff, met the people. I think he can actually be a sleeper pick. They projected him the 6th or 7th round.
Wow.
And the thing that kind of bothers me, is that when they do these evaluations, they cover these kids and they go back and they say in there, he was at Maryland, he was an early enrollee, and he was suspended. They'll go back and pull that kind of stuff up. They'll pull that kind of stuff up. And but they say he has the physical tools, the physicality, length, and speed that will get him extensive looks at the NFL camps. And they say he has the potential to stick as a rotational safety or special teams. So that, but there's the highest rank black college athlete. Do you know who that is?
I've seen a few names, but no consensus.
A young man from Fayetteville State.
Oh, you mean
they expect him to go in the 3rd round. Joshua
Williams.
They are enamored with Joshua Williams. They are really enamored with him and his story. He was a no-star recruit. And 6'3", 215.
Great
That's
size.
excellent size over there on that spot, on that side of the ball. Then they have another one that's really kind of rated high is a kid named Kobe Durant from South Carolina State. No star recruit, no offers, not academically eligible. He went to prep school and didn't stay. He ended up being a preferred walk-on at South Carolina State. And they're projecting him at in the 5th round. And see, when you play those money games, here's the positive on it. They played Clemson and they talk about he got beat for a touchdown. But he defended 4 passes and had 2 interceptions. They woke up about Kobe Durant.
Mm-hmm.
He's little though, 5'9", but he runs a 4.3 40.
Yeah, that's what they said about his size. That was the drawback. I mean, there's not too many Darryl Greens in the league today. Real short, and you got to be fast and you got to be a baller. No doubt he can ball.
Yeah, you
Hope
run
he gets a
4.38.
shot.
That helps you even be a little. But the prelude to that is, we wishing them a lot of success. As I went through and looked at the different rounds, I mean, it's a lot of them that, well, not a lot, maybe 10 or 12 that are listed as a preferred agent,
Free agent.
preferred free agent. But there's a lot of them that they just had their information in there. And I don't know, a lot of them get picked up in training camp, and that's those who do, they have to be in the right place and hope this stuff goes well for them.
Yeah.
But we will be watching this week, pulling for everybody from HBCU who gets drafted and gets picked up. For every one of them who does that and does well, it says something well for all of us.
Indeed.
But we also have a revamped crew that were able to go and take a look at and give us an assessment of their team. A lot of them said insights at, well, we asked them to pick their favorite team and to tell us what they thought. And we're going to run that tape now. So sit back, enjoy, relax.
Hello, Insights fame. Todd, a.k.a. Cowboy Lamp.
Oh, Lord.
I've been asked by the powers to be at Insights to represent the Dallas Cowboys on their upcoming NFL Draft segment show. And it's my pleasure to do so. But first things first. The following video is authorized and intended only for the use on Insights. Use on ESPN or any other media outlets is strictly forbidden without my written permission and commission. The Cowboys, coming off of a disappointing 12-5 season, my boys have taken some major hits this offseason. We've lost 7 starters and 3 or 4 more significant contributors, either by trade, free agency, or flat-out release. Highlighted by the trade of Amari Cooper to the Cleveland Browns, which I'm okay with, and the free agent loss of Randy Gregory to the Denver Broncos, which I'm not okay with. But last but not least, the release of offensive tackle A.L. Collins totally befuddles me. He's our starting right tackle. He can play guard or tackle just as well. He's under contract for the next 3 years at $10 million per year, which is not a lot of money in today's NFL. And we let him walk out the door with no return. Makes one wonder, what in the football hell? A couple other things that will affect our draft this year are losing our kicker, Greg way offline Zerline,
Way offline,
and cornerback Kelvin Joseph putting his career in jeopardy with potential murder charges. Both of these issues will now have to be addressed in this year's draft. Now, it's not all bad news. We did retain the services of some of our other significant contributors, such as tight end Dalton Schultz, wide receiver Michael Gallup, safeties Malik Hooker and Jerome Kearse, and linebacker Leighton Vander Esch. We also added some free agents who I think might help. Wide receiver James Washington from the Pittsburgh Steelers, defensive end Dante Fowler from the Atlanta Falcons. Regarding the draft for 2022, the good news is that this is a very deep draft class. Because of COVID and extended eligibility last year, This class is extremely deep. We probably have 50% more players available than we did in the past. And that's a good thing. Cowboys have a lot of holes to fill. Offensive line, edge rusher, and wide receiver being at the top of that list.
Quarterback, wide
Now,
receiver.
I'm not sure which direction we'll go in first, but if it's offensive linemen, Zion Johnson and Kenyon Green seem to be the two that'll be available there. I would probably lean Johnson because of his position flexibility, but they're both plug-and-play guys, and that's exactly what we need. If it's edge rusher, I like Arnold E. out of Penn State. Now, his last name is not E, but I can't pronounce his last name. No disrespect to the young man. But I promise you this, if we draft him, I will learn how to pronounce his name. But here's the deal. If Ohio State's Chris Avale is on the board when it's our choice at 24, I think he's the gem of the draft and a game changer. And I would definitely take him. So if he's available at 24, I can assure you he will not be on the board any longer.
Interesting, Lamp. Very interesting there. Little comedy there. A little straight up.
Say a little straight up.
Yeah, a little straight up. Well, you know, I worry about him with say they got a bunch of holes. He didn't mention quarterback or running back or head coach even, so I think he missed a few, but I can do that when you're not around, Todd.
Oh, look at you. You say when he's not around, you could do that.
Oh, well, if he was around, then it'd just be back and forth, and that's not good. That's not good for us. We're trying to be informational. Have both people yelling over each other. It's no fun. That's no fun.
Oh boy. That Todd Lampley is a funny guy, isn't he?
Oh yeah. How many picks they got this year? About 24. They need them. 22 pick'em chance. Oh Lord, have mercy. Oh, by one game. One game. The one game I didn't pick. Good job, Lamp. Good job.
Man, my whole
Lamp can say the Cowboys won something.
Listen, he could say the Cowboys won something. Wow.
Okay. All right.
I'm just glad my screen unfroze.
With that, he loves to sit in the.
Todd froze the screen.
If Ohio State's Chris Avale is on the board when it's our choice,
that's the
two of those guys. On day 3, the rest of the draft, I would not be surprised if the Cowboys traded back a time or two to add additional picks. Like I said, we need depth at all positions. This is a very deep draft. We may as well take advantage of this draft class and roll the dice on as many players as possible and see what hits. There it is, Cowboy Lamp's perspective of the Cowboys 2022 draft. Rick, I'm going to need you to use your connection, get this to Jerry for me. And by the way, just kidding, ESPN. You can use this if you like. Insights.
Rick, the reporter. Insights. All right, talk about football. I'm a big Buccaneer fan. Let me get right into it. We got the draft coming up. We got Tom Brady, of course, so we got to get some protection for him. With that, he loves to sit in the pocket. I'm not a fan of that, but that's what he do. But anyway, we can pick up Zion Johnson from Boston College on the offensive line to help protect the quarterback. Zion Johnson, Boston College. Also Jordan Davis. I'll take him too. He's another out of Georgia. He's on the defensive side of things. But
man, are we freezing up today?
Now, well, see, Coach, I didn't want to tell you this, man. You should have left the Cowboys. Lamb did it. It was he who did it. You should have just left them. I'm not gonna say leave them off because we are an inclusive group. We include everybody. But he could have been last.
Everybody.
If he would have been last, then then we could have just ended the show, and it would have been.
You on him, I see. Rick, I think we both froze now. I think we are both frozen. Wow, we haven't had this happen in so long. Wow. Wow, nothing's coming up.
And the Miami Dolphins.
Wow, we just running around, just going to different.
Ladies and gentlemen,
let me get ready now, huh?
We already have, but we have to protect Tom Brady. So we also picked up Fred Johnson from the Bengals. He's another big 6'7", 326 pounds. Oh man, I can't wait to get him in the Buccaneer uniform. But he's the offensive line as well. Big dude. Oh man, Fred Johnson. So that was a big pickup. We picked up Keanu Neal. He's from Webster, Florida. He's a safety. Been established in the league as one of the hardest hitting safeties in the league. So we picked up Keanu Neal. He played last year with the Cowboys at the linebacker position. So he's actually going back. Todd Bowles recruited him to come to Tampa to play his original position, which is the safety position. So I can't wait to get Keanu Neal. So we're looking pretty good. We're looking really good, matter of fact. So we should at least make the playoffs. But that's pretty much it. They wanted us to make this quick. I'm going to wrap it on up. I believe that's pretty much it. I hope I'm not leaving out anything, but if I am, we'll talk about it later on Insight. So I'm signing out. The coach and Rick the reporter. Cliff, Florida Hot Boy, signing out. All right, guys. You talk.
Good job, Cliff.
So, here we are.
2022.
NFL Draft.
Uh-oh.
And the Miami Dolphins. Ladies and gentlemen, I have placed my Miami Dolphins on an indefinite suspension since the Brian Flores debacle.
Okay.
But I want to talk more about this playoff drought. The Miami Dolphins have been to the playoffs, ladies and gentlemen, 5 damn times since 2005. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm not looking at the players. I'm not looking at the coaches. I'm starting at the top. I'm looking a little side-eye at you, Steven. You've made some moves, and they not have been good. So I'm looking a little side-eye. Stephen Ross. Looking a little side-eye at you, Stephen. I'm looking side-eye at you, Stephen. Stephen, do you hear me? I'm looking side-eye at you. I got damn near more hats than we have playoff appearances, Stephen. I'm looking side-eye at you, son. Let's get it together. Enough. And to make matters worse, you're a Trumpster.
Oh, see?
Now, I'm not going to hold that against you because we all have our political beliefs and thoughts.
No one can be perfect.
But I don't give a damn. We're going to get to the playoffs, Stephen, or this relationship will be over. You better make sure that the weapons that have been brought in are going to yield results. Or once again, this relationship will be got my eye on you.
What? Baby.
Draft 2022. And I am Creedale Wingate. You're a #1 Pittsburgh Steelers fan. Coming live.
Wait. Coach, did Earl even say anything about the team? That's my man. Earl said, "You know what, Coach? I know you gave me a mission. You gave me an assignment, but I got some ish on my mind," as fellow Miami and Luther Campbell would say. Shoot! Oh my goodness, Steven. Look inside. Why ain't that you? Oh my gosh, Earl. Earl, I missed you, bro. I missed you. Come back, Earl.
But when he said it's over, Earl, you didn't see him do the slit of the throat.
Yeah.
Earl was too funny, and the one that got held up on Creedale. You know, he's a Pittsburgh Steelers fan, so he he a little special just in that name in itself, being a Pittsburgh Steelers fan. He already special. He already special. He already special.
Oh, I'm just waiting on to see what these new Deshaun Watson people gonna do. True, Tua gotta prove himself this year. Yeah, you know what, Gene? I think you're right. I mean, he's already on that what's that that proverbial tightrope or whatever, because weren't the Dolphins talking about bringing in another quarterback? Oh, I heard a rumor that they were trying to get Brady. What you know about that, Buck? What you heard? Did you hear that rumor as well? I don't know. So let's see here. So this is gonna be a real for all you know, for all you la 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 la. Earl got me so pumped up I can't even talk now. Oh, hey, Coach, he's back. Okay.
What you say? Okay. I'm gonna say okay.
No, I was gonna just gonna remind people that the NFL draft is the first round is Thursday. Second and third rounds is Friday, with 4 through 7 starting Saturday, usually at noon. I love them drums.
Steven, do you hear me? I'm looking side-eye at you. I got damn near more hats than we have playoff appearances, Steven. I'm looking side-eye at you, son. Let's get it together. Enough.
Oh, no.
And to make matters worse, you're a Trumpster. Now, I'm not going to hold that against you, because we all have our political beliefs and thoughts. But I don't give a damn. We're going to get to the playoffs, Steven, or this relationship will be over. You better make sure that the weapons that have been brought in are going to yield results. Or once again, this relationship will be... Got my eye on you.
Draft 2022. And I am Creedale Wingate. You're number one Pittsburgh Steelers fan coming live to you from the lab in the ATL, Georgia. About to let you know what it's going to take to get my team back in championship contention. Get that steel curtain defense back to where it needs to be. First of all, we need to tighten up. That run defense, man, that run defense was terrible. That was like putting a knife through hot butter. It was just too easy. And they were just running all over us like we were little boys last year. I mean, it was bad. And we've addressed some of those needs in free agency. But we still need some young blood on that side of the ball to address this offensive line. It's one of the worst offensive lines in football. Last year, in the last year,
I
legendary
see the hard hat.
Roethlisberger, he was a statue, and we had to get rid of the ball a lot quicker than usual. We didn't even give our receivers a chance to get down the field to even make explosive plays. And speaking of receivers, we've lost 3 receivers in free agency. So we need speed on our team. We need a quarterback. We need speed on the outside. We need interior toughness. We need some down and dirty boys. We need some boys that's going to get down on it. You know, that's going to bring back still. We may draft back to get a few more picks. But let's just say, for argument's sake, say we stay at 20. We need Malik Willis, the quarterback extraordinaire out of Liberty University. He can move. He can throw. He can sit for a year. I know y'all not high on Mitch Trubisky, but he's a good bridge quarterback until we get Willis ready.
He said,
In the second round, we need to add that speed I was talking about on the outside. We need to add one of those dynamic receivers they have in the draft. You know, once we get that done, there's plenty of down and nasty offensive linemen and defensive linemen that we really need. But the speed, quarterback, and we really need a thumper. We need a big-time thumper in the middle of our defense. Because you can get hurt messing with us. That's what we need. That's what the Steelers need to stay on top and still run this AFC North.
To stay
There's
on
a
top.
lot of nonsense going around. Teams in our division got new quarterbacks, paying guaranteed money and all this to a guy that's probably not even going to be available this year. And if he is, it's only going to be for half the year. That don't mean nothing to us. You guys in the AFC North are still our stepchildren. We run this division. And we're going to always run this division. And we're going to make a Super Bowl run. Now, y'all need any more information from the Wiz, known as Creed Wingate? I got you. And for this 17-game season coming up, prediction, 12-5, and we're going to run this thing. I'm out.
Hey, Coach, here I am in Cleveland, Ohio, representing the mighty AFC champion Cleveland Browns. Yeah, the AFC champion Cleveland Browns. That's who we will be this upcoming year. So when I think about the draft, Coach, and, you know, I typically would go to the draft because the Browns for a number of years had the first pick or second pick or third pick, but we have fully...
Look at it. You knew it was coming. You knew it was coming.
Oh, my man. Kevin. I mean, I'll give you one thing. You Claytons y'all don't care. Y'all will say what's on your mind, even if it's the craziest thing in the world. How in the world are you calling already? But no, you calling your shot. So you know what? I'm not going to even trip off of that. Good job, Casey. You know, but one Deshaun Watson does not a season make. You have more things that you have to grab onto. Hey, Coach, welcome back.
Man, I've been kicked off the show so many times today. I have been kicked off with regularity.
It's Lamb's fault. Just blame Lamb.
Hey, I'll go with that.
Probably not even going to be available this year.
Or if there is a amazing wide receiver, maybe one of those from
Ohio State.
We now have the mighty talented Deshaun.
I need any more information from the Wiz, known as Cleveland Wing Game. I got you. And for this 17-game season coming up, prediction 12-5, and we're gonna run this thing. I'm out.
Next week live show is gonna be up.
Hey, Coach. Here I am in Cleveland, Ohio, representing the mighty AFC champion Cleveland Browns. Yeah, the AFC champion Cleveland Browns. That's who we will be this upcoming year. So when I think about the draft, Coach, and I typically will go to the draft because the Browns for a number of years had the first pick or second pick or third pick, but we have fully reloaded. Our players have matured. We now have the mighty, talented Deshaun Watson for quarterback. And we don't give a damn about the Pittsburgh Steelers, the Cincinnati Bungles, and the ex-Cleveland Brown Ravens. So, Coach, when I think about the draft, we don't have a number one pick because actually Deshaun Watson was our number one pick. We picked early in the second round, of which I believe we're probably are going to take a defensive lineman to complement the mighty Myles Garrett. Or if there is a amazing wide receiver, maybe one of those from Ohio State, just representing Ohio, we'll probably go there as well. So throughout the draft, we're just filling in actually special teams, backups, because man for man, the Cleveland Browns have the best roster in the NFL. And Coach, come back to me at the end of the year when I'm sitting back here in the man cave.
Yeah. I wish I had a mute button on this one because wait a minute. Let me ask you. I mean, I respect KC. I do, but he's got me worried now. I mean, I know you're a Cleveland fan, so this isn't just on all of y'all. But KC, he had a little drinky before he went into this. I mean, because he just lost his daggone mind. The best roster in the NFL. Come on, Kev. Look, we're trying to be a straight up show. I mean, we're trying to be legitimate, man. Don't be coming up with that. Next thing you know, I'll be saying.
Hold on.
What?
Let me pass this on to you. Once was a Redskin fan, and now
once
have a team.
That's
now,
right. I know.
Really interesting. The comments was, "Where's Rick's team? How come Rick the reporter won't have a team?"
Because I'm the reporter. I'm unbiased.
And
I call it like it is.
Kicking it, thinking about the world champion Super Bowl Cleveland Browns. The hell with the Steelers. The hell with the Bungles. The hell with the Pigeons. We will represent the AFC Central and the AFC. This draft is just insignificant to us. Actually, I'll probably take in a movie during the draft. Because we are ready. We are prepared. Clayton out from Cleveland, Coach.
KC, you worried me, bro. You worried me.
All right, this is Coach Ruffin. Just want to see if I can give a little bit of a update for Insight Sports. They asked me to kind of talk a little bit about our favorite teams in the draft. So I'm from Pensacola, Florida, so of course home of Emmitt Smith. So I've always been a Dallas Cowboys fan. I don't know why, but I guess that's just kind of my competitive spirit. I've just always been a Cowboys fan since I was young, so I've rooted for the Cowboys, and I root for them hard. So all those Tony Romo and all those times where it's been difficult, it's been hard, but I'm a Cowboys fan. So let's talk a little bit about the Dallas Cowboys and kind of what they have in the draft. I believe they have the 24th pick of the draft, and I've looked through several. If you kind of look at me looking at my iPad, I'm just kind of going through some things here. I know in the first round they've talked about having a guard or someone on the offensive line, and I think that's a perfect pick for us. I really truly think that we've got to shore up that offensive line. Now, I'm hoping in free agency we'll get a receiver or two, somebody to come in there. Of course, we lost Cooper. We lost our two other receivers right behind them. So I think we've got to get receiver. But I mean, let's just be honest. We had probably one of the best receiving corps in the league last year, and we underachieved. So I don't necessarily think that you necessarily have to have the greatest targets. You need to have a couple of good ones. We got a decent tight end, so I think we got to shore up that offensive line. I think that's first and foremost before anything. I also think, kind of looking down the draft, I've kind of.
He was giving a decent report. Somebody texted me and said, Rick is Stephen A.
No.
And then they said, no, he's Alvin Shine Wyatt.
What? Oh my goodness.
Here's another one. What? No Rick Brown, Washington Redskins? No. The football team? No, wait, it's the Commanders now. Rick, we need a report. Don't punk out. Oh, Rick. Rick the reporter, the guy everybody likes to get on. Rick, why did you give you such a hard time?
I love it. Thank you very much. You know where to find me. Yeah. Now that I got this, right? You know what, Julio? You're right. The Cowboys are evil. And anyone who cheers on their fans, I worry about seriously. I mean, you got some mental issues. And back to Kev, though. Kev said Super Bowl champion Cleveland Browns. Super Bowl champion Cleveland. What are 4 words that don't go together? Super Bowl champion Cleveland Browns. It doesn't sound right. And for all of y'all who wants to know, yes, born and raised in D.C. Was a Redskin fan until 2016. After Cap took a knee, but we'll tell that story a little later.
You'll tell it a little later.
We'll tell it a little later. We'll tell it a little later, Coach. We'll tell it a little later. Let the real professionals tell me this. Listen to them drums.
Watson was our number 1 pick. We picked.
Julio said the Cowboys
lost Randy Gregory, and I know he was huge. I think he ended up signing with the Broncos. So I think opposite DeMarcus Lawrence, it would be good to have a solid guy there. Dorrance Armstrong, I think, has done well. I like the defensive ends. Defensive tackles, I'm sorry. Linebacker, I love to get a little depth there. Our rookie from Penn State was awesome. I mean, he was amazing. Parsons came in and had a year we would have never thought. I think Dan Quinn's a great defensive coordinator. I think our secondary overperformed. Diggs led the league in interceptions. So I think the secondary, the Cowboys, we've never really been big on going out and spending big money on a safety. We normally try to keep it where we can be cost efficient or cost effective. So looking forward to the draft, I really do hope we shore up that offensive line because we lost one. We lost our tackle. He ended up leaving. He was a starter for us. So I know we've got a swing tackle, Terrence Steele. He'll come in there. I think he'll fill in at that tackle position. But I really think shifting around, we need to get that offensive line solidified the best way we can. I do think we need to get an edge rusher. I do think we probably need to get a tight end for the future. I think we will maybe through free agency try to see if we can shore up a receiver or maybe a linebacker. But I just hope the Cowboys, even if we don't pick at 24 and we draft back, that's okay. Depending upon how the chips fall. I think it's kind of hard to do a pre-draft talk because you don't know who's going to trade. Best scenario, if everybody just picks 1 through 24, you can kind of go from there. But I really feel with the quarterbacks moving and receivers moving, I really think some things could shift and change. So that's it in a nutshell, I think, for the Cowboys. We got to shore up that offensive line. I think we got to get an edge rusher, Maybe in free agency, get a wide receiver. We're going to eventually have to do something there with our secondary. I just hope we make wise picks. We do fairly good in the draft. So I'm confident there with our draft guys. We've got some guys that do some really good things. I think they're at the Senior Bowl, and it translates to draft day. So hope these Cowboys can finally come through. They've been hurting us. They've been breaking our hearts. We just hadn't had.
They ain't been hurting me or breaking my heart.
Oh, they said they haven't been breaking your heart, Rick.
Nah, I can't. Have they been breaking your heart, Coach? See, this is what I'm saying. See, we call a spade here, just like Shannon Sharp. I mean, just like us, straight no chaser. And Coach knows I like him. I mean, he came on doing basketball and was doing a great job. I mean, he was laying it out. He was, intelligent and rising coach. He's going to be something else. But his football, I'm glad he's in basketball because his football is just, I worry about him. I mean, but you already know. All right, so our boy Julio, my favorite team. I didn't know you was an Eagles fan. I never knew that. Yeah, they're positioning themselves well, trying to build around a deeper roster around Jalen Hurts. I can see that. I mean, they have him. Hurts showed flashes of being something special. But you need to have weapons around him. I don't know if the Eagles have that many weapons.
This is the
first and foremost before anything. I also think a wide receiver.
We have Sean McDermott as head coach.
Sean McDermott. Sean McDermott.
We got a couple new guys.
Hey, what's up, Mick and Rick? How you guys? And how's everybody out there? This is the coach, Milton Spence, all the way here from the 6. Big up Toronto. Big up Desi Williams. Big Buffalo Bills fan. That's my boy right there. My golf partner when I'm up in Toronto, and he just passed away. So you know what? Big him up. And here we go. All right, we're gonna talk draft and my Buffalo Bills and what they're about to end up doing and to make that team better for the future. Let's start with just what we're dealing with as a team. We have Sean McDermott as head coach, Leslie Frazier as the defensive coordinator, and Brian Dabble was the offensive coordinator, but now is the head coach of the look at that. This cup flashes. My God. Buffalo Bills in the house. All right. So Brian Dabble is now the coach of the New York Giants, and they suck. So he's in a good place. If he wins 5 games, he looks like. Next to the draft. What do the Bills need? Not much. So Jordan Poyer is kind of holding out. He wants more money, that sort of stuff. I get it. He played a great season last year. Was a big contributor. Tre'Davious White, a great cornerback, will be back this season. The defense is solid, so we don't really need much. Maybe another defensive back, maybe another safety, just depth. If Poyer doesn't come back.
I was interested to hear the rest of this because the Bills are strong. I mean, hell, they were a Leslie Frazier meltdown away from being in the AFC Championship.
Mm-hmm.
They could have been in the Super Bowl.
Right.
To be perfectly honest. So, they lost the same way I thought the Bucs lost by bad coaching by the defensive coordinator in the playoffs. I mean, you don't do a zero blitz and leave Cooper Kupp one-on-one with a safety. Duh. You don't do that, Bucs. Now head coach Todd Bowles.
Right.
And now what was it? Two plays in 13 seconds that Mahomes needed to get down the field to kick a field goal to send it in overtime. You can't allow that, coach. You just that's like leaving. That's like you saying no. That's like me being on the bench as a head coach, and you've hit 39. We up 1, and I'm like, all right, just leave Clayton alone in the corner. Don't even worry about him. He ain't gonna hit. He ain't gonna do nothing. He ain't been doing nothing all game. It's mental. Some things you do, and then Todd Bowles said down here, he said, if I had the chance to do it again, I'll do the same thing. And you will lose again.
Right. Like you did.
Oh boy. We gonna have some fun down here in Tampa Bay. I tell you.
Oh man, it was ugly. It was ugly.
You just don't do that. You just zero blitz. I tell you, brother.
When he was talking about the Giants, and Dable went to the Giants.
What we're dealing with as a team.
He said if they win 5 games,
he's hungry.
Fourth.
Yeah. Right? The dude has all the attributes of someone who's going to make it and will not take a no for an answer. The dude wants it and wants to be successful in the NFL. Second, we have Nicolby Dean. Nicolby Dean has gone from high draft pick to low draft pick now, right? And he has something to prove, right? So I believe Nicolby Dean is sort of that guy that is not really a linebacker, and he's not really a safety. He's sort of hybrid. So I think Nicolby Dean is a guy that gets in the box, can cover tight ends, can play goal line and stuff like that from the safety position and be successful. So I believe either one of those two picks, the Bills will have picked a player that will be in their system and be successful in their system for the future. All right? So that's my draft prediction for my Bills, who will be there in the Super Bowl next year against whoever wants to be there from the NFC. And that's all good, right? Would love to see Tom Brady do it again and get back with Tampa Bay Bucks, right? And against my Bills and Josh Allen. All right, so that's it. Thanks for having me, Mick and Rick, and Insight.
2 hours in the middle. Peace.
The coach. Inside Sports. We try to be everywhere.
Mine we could do without, but what I'm gonna do is next week when we do the we get some of the guys on live to talk about post draft. We'll start the show showing the video and be able to let everybody see what they may have missed on there, because I'm sure we still have some people out there still on that are watching.
Oh, thank you.
We
understand. We do.
And before we go, we do have to say, I got some Stephen A. Smith in me, in that Kyrie had the nerve to talk about how he felt like he let the team down. He let them down way before they got to the damn playoffs. And I'm with Stephen A. Smith. Yeah, it was an issue. If he had played, they wouldn't have had the issue and had to play Boston, because Boston was fired up to beat him anyway. They felt like they had something to do. Now, Phoenix, New Orleans, we get ready to go. But Phoenix, New Orleans, I like the energy of New Orleans. I like the energy of them young cats, boy.
And without Booker,
they ain't afraid of nobody. They all over your future Hall of Famer, Chris Paul. They ain't afraid of nobody.
Without Booker, it's scary. They better tighten up because them young boys are running. You're absolutely right, Coach. Totally agree.
And do you see him putting the pressure on Chris Paul full court in his face?
And you see what he's doing there, Coach, right? He'll look up and say, hey, and give it up because he don't want to have to deal with that for 4 quarters, which I understand.
Yeah.
And at 54, I wouldn't want to do it either.
He's coaching the shit out of him.
That's right. Exactly.
Oh boy. Hey, I you know.
She just comes out swinging, doesn't she?
Doesn't she? She's a fighter, boy. She said, "What a hopeful dreamer." Really, the Bills? Oh, I spent last year trying to get her to do one on the Chiefs. I couldn't get her to do it. I wanted a young lady to come in and rep, but I couldn't get the key to
Dr. Miller skirt? No. Okay. I remember that one. Check.
So you remember that one. Look at it. Look at it. Oh boy. You gotta leave my Rattlerette alone. But one thing I know about my Rattlerettes, they defend themselves. That's one thing I know. they defend themselves. You know.
Yes.
And Julio with his Philadelphia Eagles. You know, Jalen Hurts, that's the $1 million question. Can he do it? But every time we get to the NFL fan show, boy, this thing always be hot. And it's going to be hot and funny next week when we get everybody on there live. We're going to have referees.
Get ready. Let's get ready to rumble.
I know that's right. Well, I appreciate everybody being with us and staying with us. Some of you really stayed with us as we tried to work through everything that was going through because there was enough going on here. We were trying to get it. We got everybody but me, but that's fine. As long as everybody else got in there, we're fine. We're going to close, and, you know, a lot of people are going to be sitting there watching what happens. The NFL draft, I know I will be. Well, I probably won't turn it on till day 2 since my team ain't drafted. But we appreciate y'all being here. Thanks, everybody, and thanks for the crew and what you did to be able to get on and get your things on here. We're going to be able to get the reviews, and we'll start off the show next week with it.
Stay up to date with the latest from Insights. Visit our website at INSiiGHTS.com. 2 I's in the middle. INSiiGHTS.
Insights is the copyright of Mac4 Enterprises, a Florida corporation. This broadcast is produced under the exclusive ownership of Mac4 Enterprises and is the intellectual property and trademark of Mac4 Enterprises. Comments of the host and other individual speakers on Insights represent their independent thoughts and representation.
I ain't never scared. I ain't never scared.
I'm glad they fight for themselves. You know, I don't have to say anything about them. Peace, everybody. We see you next week. Enjoy. Hope your team gets everything they need so when the Browns bust them, it won't be no excuse.
That's right.